It is my immense pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Atlantic Council, its Board of Directors, and its Chairman, Governor John Huntsman, to the 6th Annual Wrocław Global Forum, and of course, on behalf of our partners, which you'll hear from in a moment, Marcin Zaborowski and Mayor Rafał Dutkiewicz. We come together at a challenging time as we witness the most volatile and uncertain environment in living memory. Europe faces threats from the east, from the south, and internally, and the world faces upheavals that we liken to 1919, 1945, 1989, when the US and its allies around the world can come together to shape the future or have it shaped by less benevolent actors or chaos. In Europe's east, Russia's continuing support of the so-called separatist forces in the Ukraine crisis and increasing provocations against NATO pose the greatest threat to European security in a generation. In the Middle East and Africa, we have seen an explosion of extremism in the surprising advance of ISIS in Syria and Iraq, as well as the breakdown of governance in Libya, causing a surge of refugees into Europe that risks straining the European Union's support services and the specter of imported terrorism from ISIS-controlled territory. Within Europe, parties are polarizing Europe about the European project itself, and their questions about the future of Europe from Greece to the UK. Grexit and Brexit looms. At the same time, the very nature of the international system is under strain. We're coming to terms with the rise of developing economies, particularly China, whose influence grows in ways relevant to its immediate neighbors, as well as to the United States and Europe. The advance of technology is changing the way our societies interact and communicate in ways that are unpredictable. How we shape the agenda and respond and adapt to these tectonic shifts in politics, economics, and the larger social fabric is the theme of this year's Wrocław Global Forum. We often talk about a transatlantic community of the Wrocław Global Forum, but we really witnessed in the beginning of this forum yesterday in our business dialogues and in our democracy dialogue, transatlantic communities. There was a digital transatlantic community, a defense industry transatlantic community, an energy industry transatlantic community that all met yesterday, as well as a democracy transatlantic community. We're asking questions this year. What is the nature of Russia's challenge to the post-war geopolitical balance in Europe? We will explore the changing global energy landscape and its political implications. We will also pull all those topics and others together to discuss America's role in the world and how the US can work with its European partners to build a secure and prosperous future. On each of these topics, our response rests on a common theme. Now more than ever, we need to recommit to our Atlantic values, the belief in democracy, freedom, openness, and shared prosperity, so that they can continue to drive the engine of change, and not only within our Euro-Atlantic community, but around the world. United around these common values, we believe the Atlantic community can commit to a well-developed and consistently implemented global strategy. If we do that, we can assure peace and prosperity, not violence and chaos, define the future. If we don't step up, we will pay the consequences. I am hopeful that we can make progress toward that goal over the next 2 days, and then keep this community talking and interacting in the time in between. It wouldn't be possible to do any of this without the great partners and the teams that put their minds together to work around the conference each year. So let me briefly thank the Polish government. So wonderful to have the Polish president here today and the Polish foreign minister, having had the Polish finance minister here yesterday. I also want to salute Ambassador Moll, Ambassador Schnepp, and a special thanks goes to the Atlantic Council's board director in Poland, Maciej Witucki, who has been part of this effort from its inception. Without his work, it wouldn't be possible. Of course, our host, Mayor Dutkiewicz in the city of Wrocław, and our institutional partners at the Polish Institute of International Affairs, under the leadership of Marcin Zaborowski, have just been terrific partners and will work forward. This year, we are also pleased to welcome a large delegation from Ukraine, led by Ukrainian Foreign Minister Pavlo Klimkin, as well as members from the Verkhovna Rada, distinguished representation from Russia, including, among others, former Prime Minister of Russia, Mikhail Kasyanov, and the chess world champion, Garry Kasparov, as well as the Russian opposition leader, Ilya Yashin. Ilya will be presenting Boris Nemtsov's report, Putin War, alongside our own Atlantic Council report, Hiding in Plain Sight, at a special press conference this evening. Both reports have changed the way the West views Putin's aggression in Ukraine. Both the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Georgia is here, the Foreign Minister of Moldova is here. Thank you both for being here, and also the Defense Minister of Macedonia. We're pleased to welcome several top American experts, again highlighting Poland's importance in the region as one of America's closest allies. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire will join us and will participate in a high-level panel discussion on America's role in the world. Two former national security advisors, members of our board, General Jim Jones and Steve Hadley, will be here, or are here in the front row, as is General Ben Hodges, the commanding general of the U.S. Army Europe. And then, of course, as always, the highlight of our Freedom Awards, which will take place this evening. This year, we will honor former Swedish Prime Minister and former Foreign Minister Carl Bildt. His award will be presented by Radek Sikorski. We'll honor the students, faculty, and staff of Donetsk University in exile for their commitment to academic freedom and support for Ukraine's unity, including, and we'll also honor the imprisoned pilot Savchenko. We'll honor Polish film director Agnieszka Holland for her moving narratives depicting some of Poland's most difficult emotional periods. And then we'll close the evening with a special posthumous Freedom Award for Boris Nemtsov, which will be presented by Garry Kasparov to his daughter. When you have to present your Freedom Award posthumously to someone who's been assassinated, you know you're in a different sort of situation. So with that, I welcome you all to the Wrocław Global Forum and then to the Freedom Awards tonight. And I think I now pass the podium to Marcin Zaborowski. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred, and welcome everyone. This is not going to be a speech. I'm just going to say that I'm absolutely delighted that the Polish Institute of International Affairs is the partner of Wrocław Global Forum for the 5th time running. And as I said yesterday, if something happens in Poland for a 2nd time, it is already a tradition. When it happens for the 5th time, this is an extremely well-established tradition. And none of that would have happened had it not been for the city of Wrocław and the visionary work of Mayor Dutkiewicz and his team. Since everybody else was already introduced, let me just ask now Rafał to come to the stage and introduce the president.
Mr. President, dear ministers, ambassadors, members of parliament, representatives of scientific community, dear guests, participants of the 6th Wrocław Global Forum, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to the city of Wrocław. I especially welcome the President of the Republic of Poland, Mr. Bronisław Komorowski. Mr. President, thank you very much for being here with us. Challenges that the world is facing today make us ask ourselves questions about the future. How to guarantee military security and energy security, considering the situation in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East? What kind of economic partnership between the European Union and the United States do we need? Will the progress in innovations and technology solve the problems of the global economy? Searching for the right and wise answers to those questions is an important and difficult task, but I do believe it is possible to succeed. It is possible thanks to the discussions, exchanges of thoughts, thanks to the meetings such as this.